Many seek the path to victory, but only one can stand glorious over all. At the old world's heart stands the Empire. Karl Franz must prove worthy of the Warhammer.
Hello, welcome to another guide. Today we're looking at two of the most bizarre creations from the School of Engineering. The first up is the steam tank. Now, if you've played the tabletop version, the Games Workshop, you will know how nightmarish it is to face this. It's a fucking tank in a fantasy game, guys. It's ridiculously powerful. It costs, obviously, a ton of money. There's only a very limited number in the whole of the Empire in the lore. There's, you know, less than 10, I think, or something like that in the actual entire world, because they're so hard to create. It runs on steam, it contains a great cannon, and it wrecks faces. It's very heavily armoured, as you'd expect. You can kind of see that. It's armour piercing because of the cannon it's got on the front, so good against those heavily armoured guys. It causes terror because it's a fucking tank. Yeah, that would... And just on top of that, it's unbreakable because the guys inside... You know, they're not going to be scared of anything. You're not going to worry about stuff going on. It's got 5,000 hit points and 160 armour. It's got leadership of 100, but which doesn't matter because they're unbreakable. It's got a decent amount of speed at 57. Does a decent amount of damage in melee. I'll show you in the video shortly of how I use it. So, it's got range of 380. As I said, it's a cannon, and it does a crap ton of damage. So basically you've got an artillery piece that can then get in combat, which is like the only single one I can think of that will actually do that. As I said, it causes terror as well. I didn't say that, but I'm telling it now. It causes fear, causes terror. Ignore fear because you cause terror. So as you'd expect, totally shits up the opposition. The next, even more bizarre, is the Luminark of Hysh, which is a contraption made by the mages at the School of Magic, and basically it focuses an orb into a gun, basically, that's called Solheim's Bolt of Illumination, because they're fucking off their rocker. But it's a beautiful piece of engineering. We can have a close look up. It almost looks like telescopic, and it focuses the orb that he's carrying into this beam of light. It's a sort of newer addition to the Warhammer world. When I was sort of still playing the tabletop version, this thing didn't exist, so I've never faced it actually in real life, so to speak. So there's the Bolt of Illumination. I thought I was being really clever knowing that, but it's written there. Brilliant. It's a small area effect weapon, but does a crap ton of damage, and it's better against sort of stronger enemies. And it also has a couple of magic auras that we'll show you in a few. It does have a massively low rate of fire. It only has a couple of shots. Now, in the games that I've played, I'm not a big fan of it, I've got to say. You know, you can get off a lucky shot and hit a character or something like that. It's got 300 range, so and like, as I said, 1,050 damage. It's a crap ton of damage. But if it misses, or, you know, I just didn't find it that good. So it's got an aura of protection around it, which affects all allies within 50 meters, which is plus 12% physical resistance, which is really, really good. And that's, if you are going to use it, that's how you would use it. Also, it's got a Locus of Hysh, which is basically if there's an enemy wizard within 30 meters, they don't regenerate their power as quick, so they can't cast as much. So the main use of this guy is to sit in the backfield behind your enemy line. It's nice and tall. It shoots over the top. Taking pot shots at maybe enemy characters or heavily armoured troops as they come in. It's only going to get maybe 3-4 shots off at the most before they're too close. And then its basic goal, it's not to send into combat, but it's basically to sit behind your front line and just use those auras to help your troops survive. And obviously then it can still take the odd pot shot at enemies, like archer units and stuff like that. Although not ideal, you know, you take it. So here we are with our steam tank. So that's the steam tank cannon. Unfortunately, the first one just whistled over the head. Like all artillery in the game, it's not all very accurate because it would just be way too powerful if it was accurate. So there's, the second cannon shot. Oh, that ate some faces off. Now, the Luminark is just getting into range now. So do we catch up with it to see it firing? see it charging up. It's quite a nice little effect. I think we'll show you later after the first shot. As I said, slow as all hell shooting. It's not going to get many shots off before they get to you. And you do need to protect it because it's not very good in close combat. So here's the Luminark just starting to chug up for its... I think we missed the first shot, but we should see its second shot. So here it goes. Eventually, it will fire. It's in range. There we go. It's charging up for the big one. Here it is. What's it going to... Yeah. So it hit the hill. So it's not an idea. So although it's more accurate than most artillery, it's still not accurate. There's a tiny brow of a hill, and that screwed it up altogether. So not the most useful thing in the world. I think in a massive armies, then I could still see it because the aura alone would help out so many troops. Your main line of troops with 11% damage resistance would be fantastic. There's the second shot, and it just hit the enemy character. I was aiming for him, and it just wiped off a quarter of the enemy character's health, which is actually pretty good for a character. So now we're going to have some fun with this, and the steam tank is going to finish shooting shortly and do what it does best, which it shoots, yes, but it also is basically a massive ram. There's another shot from the Luminark, getting a decent shot. So here we go, steam tanks coming in. It's disgusting. Right, we need to quit this. It's too ugly. Thank you very much for the guide. The guide, don't thank me. Thank me. I made the guide. Check out all the other videos we've made. I'm doing every unit in the game, so if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. We're going to do some advanced tactics after I've done all the units. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.